Hey all you amazing chefs out there, we have a great show for you today. It's dinner time. We're gonna be making a pan roasted chicken with a really nice cream corn sauce. We have a little bit of crispy bacon that we're gonna be using. We have a little bit of white meat, a little bit of dark meat. So depending on what you like, we hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to start with our butternut squash. I went ahead and cut it in half. We're going to go ahead and take the seeds out of this guy. We're just going to take a nice little spoon and we'll pull out all the seeds from there. And we're going to put this guy face down. What we're going to do is we're going to roast it for about maybe 40 minutes or so. We want it to be nice and soft, so this way when we add our cream, a little salt, a little pepper, and a little bit of butter, it's nice and smooth. And then we're also going to take a piece of roasted corn and we're going to pop that guy in the oven for same thing. We're going to put it in there for about 30 minutes or so. And once it's ready to go, we'll pull that guy off the cob. Alright, so we have our chicken breast here. We have the wing on there still. I'm going to go ahead and cut this guy off a little bit. This is going to be our tester. This is the one that you get to eat. And I like to keep the skin on. That way it stays nice and moist. And then we have also our leg and our thigh. So first thing we're going to do is season it. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. And we're going to season both sides. I really like using fresh ground pepper. I feel like it has a little bit more flavor. It's a little bit more robust. And then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt on this side. Now from here, if you wanted to add Italian season, I like using a Montreal chicken season. If you want to use a little Cajun season, a little cayenne, you want it a little spicy, feel free to do so. You can kind of make your little variations from here. So now that we have our chicken seasoned, and I want to make sure that we're seasoning both sides, we're going to get the skin nice and crispy. We're going to stick it in a really nice hot saute pan. I've got a little extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to just cook one side of it. Once we flip it over, we're going to add a little bit of white wine to it and let it roast in the oven for about 10-15 minutes. If you'd like to join me over there, we'll get started. Now that we have our chicken seasoned, we're going to go ahead and add a little olive oil to our pan. It's nice and warm. Just make sure you give it a little feel. Just kind of tell whether it's warm or not. We're going to go ahead and add our chicken in the pan. We'll add this guy in there. And you want to make sure you got plenty of room. If you need a larger pan, grab a larger pan. Don't forget, this guy's for you. You're the chef, you get to taste one right before everybody else gets to eat. So we're going to let this guy go ahead and saute for just a few minutes. I got it on about medium heat. Move this guy out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and start cutting up our vegetables for our sauce. So I took a little bit of a red onion. I'm going to take about a quarter of that guy. Dice them up. And then I have a little bit of red, yellow, and orange bell pepper. And next I have a little bit of green onion. And I'm going to go ahead and chop this guy all the way down to the white part. So I do want a little bit of that more robust flavor in there. And the next thing that I would like to make is what we call our yellow squash fans. So we're going to cut this guy right down the center. And we're just going to slice it. What we're going to do is actually keep one side of it together. So this way when we saute it and bring it out, it comes out just like a fan. Two other ingredients that we have for this is we have a little bit of pepper bacon that I've already cooked. We got it chopped up. We're going to go ahead and check our chicken here. Really good color to it. And so our next step is we're gonna add a little bit of white wine. We got some Chardonnay here. Now we gotta taste it. Really good stuff. We're gonna add our white wine to our dish. And we're gonna add all of our chopped vegetables. You can saute them if you want to, or if you want to just add them like that. I guarantee it's gonna be good. All right. So we're gonna make sure that we got all of our vegetables in there. If you have some other veggies like celery, carrots, feel free to add those in there. All it's gonna do is just make it even taste that much better. So what we're gonna do next is gonna bring this to a boil. We want it to just kind of get a really nice simmer. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna pop this guy in the oven. We're gonna let it cook for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes or so. Depending on your oven, we're at about 350 degrees. I normally try to pull out the breast maybe about 5 minutes before we pull out the leg and the thigh. So right at about 15 minutes, we're gonna pull out the breast, and then we're gonna leave the leg and the thigh to cook for just a few more minutes. So we have our chicken in the oven, and it's been going for about 10 minutes or so, and we're gonna be working on our butternut squash and our roasted corn sauce. It's been in there for about 20 or 30 minutes now. So the way to check these guys is, I can kind of tell because the outside of the husk is starting to get dark, and then with our butternut squash you can tell that it's just gives a little bit, right? So what we're gonna do next is peel this guy. You can wait till it cools down. I'm a chef, I work with it while it's hot. So we're gonna pull this guy off. And I like to hold it from here. So you can either let it cool down, or if you're kind of in a rush and you're starting to work with it while it's hot, go ahead and just pull it from right here, and it's not gonna be as hot for you. So what we'll do is we'll just start pulling this guy and cutting. So we have this guy, and we're trying not to get it everywhere. Sometimes that happens. That's what it goes on while you're cooking. And we're gonna go ahead and put this guy on our plate. And we're gonna get ready to use this guy just in a little bit. I'm gonna end up throwing this back in the pan. I like using one pan so that way you get all the flavors, everything starts to incorporate, everything mixes in, makes it nice and juicy, gives you a really good sauce. So we'll pull this guy off to the side. And we're gonna go ahead and take a minute to clean our cutting board. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this guy over. I like to cut it right at the spot where it just kind of creates that divot. Because it's hot, we're gonna go ahead and just bring that out. We're gonna take off all the skin. And same thing with this one. Just gonna roll it over. And you do want to take off all the skin. Flip this guy over. Trim it down this way a little bit. All right. So the next thing, we're gonna throw it in our little mini food processor. I'm gonna cut it in a few small pieces. This way it blends up really well. And for me, I think butternut squash is just a beautiful vegetable that just kind of has a really nice flavor. So I don't like to add too much to it. I put just a tiny little pinch of salt, tiny little pinch of pepper. We're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream. And we're gonna add some butter to it. Got about a teaspoon of butter, maybe a tablespoon. All right, and then we're just gonna puree this guy up, let it go for a second or two, and when it becomes nice and smooth, we're gonna throw it in our piping bag so that way we can put it on our plate. I'm gonna check it real quick, make sure where we need to be. So we've pulled our butternut squash out of the mixer, and we're gonna go ahead and just reserve that guy off to the side. So once we get ready to plate, we've added a little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of butter, a little bit of heavy cream. And the next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and pull out our chicken. Looks like our chicken is nice and ready to go. If you have a thermometer, you can temp it out at 165 degrees. And what we're gonna do is take all of our sauce right here, and we're gonna go ahead and set that in our bowl. And what we're gonna do is add our corn, our bacon, and our pumpkin seeds. And we're gonna go ahead and saute those guys for just a minute or two. So we have our pumpkin seeds, our roasted corn, and our bacon. And we're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream. Just go ahead and saute this guy for a minute or two. Turn up the heat on this guy just a little bit. Now the bacon may be a little salty, so you just want to add just a pinch of pepper. Throw a little pinch of pepper in there. And as this comes to a boil, go ahead and let that go for about a minute or two. And as you can see, it's starting to bubble. And we're just gonna lower that guy down. And as it cooks, the cream's gonna start to reduce. So that's a good thing. And now that we've let it cook for about 2 or 3 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and slice up our chicken, and we're gonna go ahead and get ready to plate. Join me over there. All right, great. So we have our sauce ready to go. Our chicken is cooked. So the last thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and make our zucchini fan. And we're gonna take just a little bit of butter. We're gonna spread it on our yellow squash that we cut earlier. And we're just gonna place it in our pan. Give it a nice little sear. And once we get some nice color to it, we're gonna go ahead and flip it over. And we're gonna cook both sides of this guy. Take a little bit of our white wine, just to help steam it up a little bit. As you can see, it's got a really nice color to it on that side. We're gonna flip it over. A little bit more white wine to it. And we're gonna go ahead and let that guy cook in there for about maybe 2 minutes or so. I like to where the yellow squash is a little bit more on the firm side. So as we're gonna go ahead and cook that, we're gonna go ahead and start plating. So we'll bring our butternut squash over here. Add a little bit to our plate. We'll take our chicken, and we're gonna go ahead and just slice it up. We'll bring this guy off to the side. And we're also gonna take our leg and our thigh. What I like to do is have one piece of the thigh. We'll go ahead and set that guy right off to the side. And we're gonna go ahead and take our white meat and bring it over on this side. We're gonna go ahead and add our sauce to it. We have our pumpkin seed, roasted corn, and crispy bacon. Looks really good. So the next thing that we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and take our yellow squash fan that we're cooking. Turn the heat up on that guy a little bit. Remember, we had our roasted white wine sauce that we had with the bell peppers and the onions. We're gonna add that to it. And you wanna get all that juice in there. Go ahead and cover it. And we're just gonna let that flavor just get all over that nice yellow squash fan. And I like to cook this guy for a minute or two. I don't like it too soft. I like to where it has a little bit still texture to it. As you can see, we're coming to a nice boil. And we're gonna go ahead and just set this guy right here. We're gonna cut this guy in half and set that right in the center of that guy. Put a little bit of our veggies to it and a little bit more sauce. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our white wine roasted chicken. It has our zucchini fan, a little bit of our pan sauce, our pumpkin seeds, roasted corn, and crispy bacon. Hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on our website, amazingchefcreations.com. We hope to see you soon on our next episode. And don't forget, be amazing.